child in action enters the struggling, changing world of the 7-year-old. This is no ordinary outing at the zoo. It's a very special occasion. We've brought these 20 children together for the very first time. They're like any other children, except that they come from startlingly different backgrounds.
You mustn't get it! No, I know there's no feeding, but it doesn't really.
We brought these children together because we wanted a glimpse of England in the year 2000. The shop steward and the executive of the year 2000 are now 7 years old. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. Let's get to know these children. Taking a little sister to school on a London council estate. Jackie. From the Yorkshire Dales, Nicholas. He goes to a one-room village school 4 miles away from his home. From this Liverpool suburb, we chose Neil. And this is Tony. His girlfriend calls him a monkey. He goes to one of the older schools in the East End of London.
Would everybody please sit round now, get on with their work. I don't want to see any backs to me. Shouldn't be anybody turning round. Tony, do you hear as well?
Next to Tony there is his girlfriend, Michelle.
Tony! Don't turn round again.
In this classroom, Waltzing Matilda is being rendered in Latin. This is an exclusive pre-prep school in Kensington.
I think the Beatles are mad because they make too much noise and their hairstyle is so bad. If they composed softer music, I wouldn't mind so much. I just love the haircut.
That was John.
If you love the haircut, you wouldn't have liked Henry V's haircut.
This is Charles. And that is Andrew. This dormitory is in a children's home, supported by charity. This is Paul. And Simon.
I had one dream when all the world was on top of me and everything was on it and I just about got out and everything flew up in the air. It all landed on my head.
Go on, Potter. You do Potter, don't go. I'll shoot.
Who's going to? My heart's desire is to see my daddy, who's 6,000 miles away.
Bruce doesn't live with his parents either, but for a different reason. He goes to a private boarding school in Surrey. Bruce wants to be a missionary.
I think the most important thing in the world is everyone should know about God. I think we should give most of our money to the poor people.
In the headmistress's study of a fashionable school for girls, we met Susie. We spoke to her deep in the chintz of the staff room.
Tell me, do you have any boyfriends, Susie?
Yes.
Tell me about him.
He lives up in Scotland, and I think he's 13. And I'm rather lonely up there because he usually goes to school, but we usually play till about 6:30 when he comes home from school. And then we go in, and then he goes home to do his homework.
The world of the 7-year-old can be primitive, even violent. What do the children themselves think about fighting?
Is it important to fight? Yes. Well, I feel like bundling when there's already a fight. I always feel like that. I never feel it. I always feel like bundling when there's already one.
Neil from the Liverpool suburb.
We don't do much fighting in school because we think it's horrible and it hurts. Sometimes we go out and play nicely with the boys, and sometimes we go out and argue with the boys.
Susan, Jackie's friend.
No. Most of the time we're all right, but one day when I remember we were all coming to school, and at playtime when we got out they started hitting us, so we started to fight on us. So we said we're never going to play with you again, but we always do. If they fight me, I think if someone comes up there and starts fighting them, I think it shows they're right. We play Richard the Lionheart and William Tell. Well, we pretend we've got swords, and we make the noise of the swords fighting, and when somebody stabs us, we go, ah!
Nicholas from Yorkshire, 7 this year.
I'm quite a lot of fun when I fight. I always like to wait till someone... You better watch out for me, because as soon as you're not looking, I like to dash up and put my hands in front and hit them against your back. On the grass, we play international wrestling. Yeah, that's all right. Summertime though. Yes, only when we can go on the grass. I just like fighting, Sammy.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just walloped him. He was in the washroom with me, and he threw soap at me, and I chased him in the class and clunked him.
When I was down in the place at Kent, there was this little boy who was, I think he's younger than me, and my nanny was having a game with him, and he was a naughty boy because he slapped me in the tummy. Some boys can be nice and others can be horrible. And then he slapped Nanny, and I don't like that kind of boys.
Jacqueline, what do you think about boys fighting? Well, it's really silly to fight, because if you fight, and Miss comes in the classroom, you only get told off.
I think discipline is fair enough. Farmer's the sergeant, and he's quite good. When last term he wasn't, he had a cold, and we didn't want to wear his voice out from shouting.
Well, my colour.
And that's Farmer, he gives me nightmares.
Right home! Well, left turn! Go right way! Go loose on 14 sideways, commence! Go rising on your toes, you go sideways, commence!
The vast majority of 7-year-olds know little of discipline, but a few, from the moment they are born, are trained to accept it.
Squad steady! Squad left foot inward, place! Squad breathing!
Well, I don't like the big boys hitting us and a prefect sending us out for nothing, and the monitors up in the washroom sending us out when there's no talking. And I wasn't talking today, and Brown sent me out for nothing.
I think the system of having house captains is rather good, because when somebody's naughty, the house captain asks him and has a talk to him. Once I had a talk to Greville. He was in my house, and I asked Sir if he could put him out of my house because he was always getting minuses.
What did Sir say?
Yes. So Sir said that we would see about it this term.
Well, I think it's a very good system.
Have you had to speak to anyone?
It's just because you're one, I suppose.
No, you're not.
No, I haven't.
You're not, are you?
But I am. It's Sean McInnes. You got 3 minuses in a day. He's a pest.
Well, do you think house captains should be elected or appointed by Sir?
Appointed.
Appointed. I think it's more fair if they're elected.
Yes, so do I, but I think it's better to be appointed.
Yes, because you didn't
Not
take such a lot of time.
It doesn't.
Appointed. It's much easier because all you have to do is count up the pluses and
Yes.
there you are.
At Susie's school, the exercise is classical ballet. For Neil and his classmates, it's free movement to music. Michelle and her friends are left to amuse themselves. This distinction between freedom and discipline is the key to their whole future. What about after school? What do they do in their spare time?
When I go home, I have tea. Then I practice my piano. And then I practice my recorder. And then I start watching television.
What time do you go to bed?
Well, I have my bath at 6 o'clock.
and then go to bed at 7 and read till 7:30.
I usually go to bed 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
When I go home, I go and see my mother, and I have tea and watch TV. And then I do my homework, and I go and see my father.
And then what time do you go to bed?
But last night I didn't go to bed till 7.
When I go home, I come in and Mummy gives me a cup of tea, and then I go out and play. And when it starts to get dark, I come in again and put on TV. I'm the only child in the village except for my baby brother. It was one last Friday. I mean the Friday before last Friday.
Neil from Liverpool said he preferred living in town.
Because in the winter, if you lived in the country, well, it was just all wet and there wouldn't be anything for miles around. And you get soaked if you tried to go out, and there's no shelter anywhere except in your own house. But in the town, you can go out on wet, wintry days because you can always find somewhere to shelter because there's lots of places.
They'd like to come out for a holiday in the country when I like to have a holiday in the town. I had to, and then if I come chasing, Rob came and shot me.
In Tony and Michelle's school, unlike others, boys and girls are brought together in the classroom, and they meet quite naturally in the picture queue on Saturday morning.
Sometimes on Saturday morning I go to the pictures. Sometimes with my friends, sometimes with him. You don't? I do. You don't? I don't ever see you. You go to different pictures. Last week I went to where you go. Even I didn't go.
How much does mixing or segregating the sexes matter? What effect does it have on what the boys and girls think about each other? Will it influence their chances of love and marriage? We asked the children what they thought about the opposite sex.
Tommy, do you have any girlfriends?
Well, not many.
What do you think about girls?
Well, not much. I don't think much of girls. Catch a boy, kiss a boy. Or sometimes we get our own back and say, catch a girl and kiss a girl. Yeah.
And what happens then?
Well, the girls are all screaming. Yeah. And when we catch them, we kiss them. Yes. And when it's catch a boy, kiss a boy, when the girls catch us, they kiss us. And they say, ah! Yeah. But much, much louder though.
If we did all love Jeffrey and we all want to marry him,
yeah,
I think I know the one that he likes best, and that's her. But Susan most of all likes Leslie. She told me before. Yeah. She said she keeps changing her mind though.
Yeah, I don't know which one really. Well, my girlfriend is in Africa, and I don't think I'll have another chance of seeing her again. And there were two in Switzerland, which I like too, the Park Hotel.
Well, I know he is her and he loves her. I don't. I love you. And these two, I don't love you. I love Christopher. See, he loves Susan because Susan loves him. He loves Lindsay. Lindsay loves him. I don't love him.
Well, once Carolyn Thetford said she she loved me. And I'm going to marry her when I grow up.
Oh, I hate her. She's always getting bad-tempered and cross with me.
Is she?
Yeah, she says, Neil Hughes, move your desk forward. And sometimes, when she's supposed to have the chairs back on the desk, and when I put it back, she said, Neil Hughes, take your chair forward. And she just gets into very cross with me like that.
I would like to get married when I grow up. Well, I don't know what sort of boy, but I think one that that's not got a lot of money, but has got some money, not a lot. So.
You like to get married, Paul? Tell me why not.
I don't like say you had a wife, say you had to eat what they cooked you, and say I don't like greens, well I don't, and say she said you have to eat what you give, so I don't like greens, say she gives me greens, and that's it.
When I get married, I don't want to have any children because they are always doing naughty things and making the whole house untidy.
When I get married, I'd like to have 2 children.
Do you like to have a nanny to look after them, or do you want to look after them?
I want a nanny to look after them.
If I could, I would have 2 girls and 2 boys.
Yes, I would.
And what about you, Jackie?
My mum, because she got 5 girls, she had 7 years bad luck. That's why she's got 5 girls. And so, but when my baby was supposed to be born, we all wished it was a boy, but we were all waiting in my nan's for my dad because he had visited her. He came home and said, "There's another girl kid." I said, "Ow."
What do you think about girlfriends at your age? Tell me what you think.
I've got one, but I don't think much of her.
No, but I said that when boys go around with girls, they don't pay attention to what they're doing. Yes, as my grandmother had an accident because a boyfriend was kissing his girlfriend in the street. The girls never do what the boys want them. They always start playing with dolls when the boys want to play rough and tumble with them. It's quite true. They are rather boring. You never get a chance to play with them and things like rough and tumble and that. And they always start playing with their dolls. Yes. As soon as you want silly games like that. Only intelligent girls. And they always take you away from whatever game you're playing yourself. Yes. They say, "I don't want to play that game," or silly things like that. Yes, and they start crying. Yes.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't want to answer that. I don't answer those kind of questions.
They love.
Yeah.
The verb to love, amo.
Now let's have the present tense of amo.
Amo, amas, ament, amanus, amatis, and nun.
Good. What's that last one?
Men.
Amount. Fill up the gaps on the board down. Has a bit of chalk. In your best writing, dear. All right. What's major? What's amatis mean?
We love.
No. Golden. Amatis.
You love.
You love, second person, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's a silly, wasn't it, what's major? Now then, Russell, let's have the present tense of Porto.
Porto, portas, portat, portamus, portatis, portant.
That's right. Alden, let's have the present tense of vasto.
Vesto, vestas, vest. Vestat. Vestomus, vestotis, vestant.
Yeah, speak up. Now then, let's, what does vasto mean, you know? All right, let's, well, got it?
Lay waste.
Vasto, to lay waste.
All right. All right, you can talk again.
Are the children themselves aware of differences between rich and poor? Have they learned prejudice? What do they think about money?
I think it's not a bad idea to pay for schools, because if we didn't, schools would be so nasty and crowded.
Yes.
So do I think so.
Yes.
And the people in the schools wouldn't, and
poor people come rushing in.
the man in charge of the school would
Get very angry.
get very angry because
And he'd get
he wouldn't be able to pay all the masters if he didn't
Yes.
get any money.
Yes, he'd
and
go
you
bankrupt
need
because
because paying all
What's
the
to get
bankrupt
bankrupt and no more money and go to prison?
Why do you have to go to prison? That's from because that obviously means you've been spending it too much.
I've got 23 threepenny pieces, and I don't know how many halfpenny pieces I've got now.
I read the Financial Times. I read the Observer and the Times.
What do you like about it?
Well, I usually look at the headlines and then read about them. About it.
Yeah.
I like my newspaper because I got shares in it and I know every day what the shares are.
Misers like you.
No, but on Mondays they don't move up, so I don't look at it.
What would you do if you had lots of money? About
Me?
£2.
Me?
Lindsay.
I would help the poor.
Yeah, because the poor, if you don't help them, they sort of die soon, wouldn't they? And every time we have a harvest festival, we send them food to them. Once these two, Susan and Janet Sensen went round giving it out with Mr. Floyd.
What do you think about rich people?
Well, not much.
Tell me about it.
Well, they think they can do everything without you doing it as well. And they think just because they're rich and they have to have people like they have to do all their work and stuff.
I don't think much of the accents. Neither do I.
Neither do I.
But I don't prevent me liking them.
Poor children
Yes, they
boast
um,
about themselves.
no,
Whereas
they
rich
don't.
children boast about themselves and say how clever I am, things like that.
Yes, and rich children always make fun of poor children, I think.
Yes, they say, oh, look at that lovely little sissy over there.
Yes, and they throw things at them.
Yes,
Yes.
the poor child gets scared to death. The Prussians, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. They're nuts. Just have to touch them. Jacqueline, what do you think about colour people? You said to me once that you like them, but what do you really think about them? Well, they're nice. They're just the same as us, really. But one thing, that it's only because their skin's brown and we're white. Sort of pinkish we are. Some people from Africa come here, but they when they go, they put their clothes on. Not only, I've only seen them on television and places like that. I don't know anybody who's coloured. I don't want to know anybody who's coloured. Thank you very much.
Coloured people really don't like them very much.
No, it sounds like ghostly coloured people. You think of a purple person with red eyes, and yellow feet, and you can't really think of what they really look like.
They're just the same as me, aren't they?
What do they think about each other? And how would they act together? To find out, we invited them all to one big party and joined in.
Tell me, what did you three think about the other children that you met today and all that? There were quite varieties.
Yes, but they were a bit too tough for my liking. Because they hit me right in the back and I've still got a pain there. Well, some of them were rather dirty.
What do you think about
I played them with them quite naturally. I think they were rather nice, really.
Don't like the boys, them three, and I don't like all of them, none of them.
What about the girls?
Yeah, I like that girl. But I don't like the boys.
Why?
Because once I pulled his scarf and he said, "Don't you pull my scarf like that?" And I hate him. And when we was at that park, he went round punching everybody.
If some of our children didn't get on with each other, does it really matter? After all, they're not likely to meet in the same classroom. At the Kensington School, all the boys are being prepared for public school places and university. Whereas of these 30 children getting their milk from Tony, only 3 are likely to win a place at a grammar school. Indeed, the vast majority will leave school and start work at 15. But what plans do the children themselves have?
When I leave the school, I'm going to College Court. And then I will be going to Westminster boarding school if I pass the exam. And then we think I'm going to Cambridge and Trinity Hall.
What does university mean?
Well, before I'm old enough to get stuff, I just walk around and see what I can find. When I leave the school, I go to Broadstairs, St. Peter's Court. Then after that, I'm going to Charterhouse. And after that, Trinity Hall, Cambridge.
I like to be like Kathy Kirby.
I want to be a jockey when I grow up. Yeah, I want to be a jockey when I grow up. When I leave school, I'm going to the Dragon School. I might. And I might go to, after I might go to Charterhouse, Marlborough. And I can't remember all other places, because Mummy's got so many, but there's some of them.
What about university, Charles?
I might go to Oxford.
Well, I don't think I need to go to university because I'm not going to be a teacher.
I don't think you want to go to university if you want to be an astronaut.
When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut. But if I can't be an astronaut, I think I'll be a coach driver.
And tell me about coach driving and all that.
Well, I'm going to take people to the country and sometimes take them to the seaside, and I'll have a big loud speaker in the motor coach and tell them whereabouts we are and what we're going to do and what the name of the road is and all about that.
Well, if I can't be an astronaut, I'd like to be a bridewell sergeant in the police force, like my dad is. I was going to be a policeman, but I thought how hard it would be to join in.
When I leave this school, I'm down for Heathfield and Southampton Manor, and then maybe I may want to go to a university, but I don't know which one yet.
I will buy myself a new nice house, you know, one that's all nice and comfy. I'm going to work in Woolworths. When I grow up, I'd like to find out all about the moon and all that.
Well, I'll go into Africa and try and teach people who are not civilized to be more or less good.
At the end of their very special day in London, after their trip to the zoo and the party, we took our children to an adventure playground where they could do just what they liked. Those from the children's home set about building a house. There's Nicholas and Tony. Andrew and Bruce. John. Susie. Jackie and her friends. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. This has been a glimpse of Britain's future.